Hello, hey everyone. Joey Sparks here. This is your reminder that God's mercies are new once again this morning.
This morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. I woke up this morning with my mind.
Long ago, and many times and in many ways, God spoke to our fathers by the prophets. But in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed the heir of all things, through whom also he created the world. He, the Son, is the radiance of the glory of God and the exact imprint of his nature, and he upholds the universe by the word of his power. After making purification for sins, he sat down at the right hand of the Majesty on high, having become as much superior to angels as the name he has inherited is more excellent than theirs. What a rich passage. Hebrews chapter 1, 1 through 4. Number one from this text, just notice this is not only a summary of the argument he's going to make throughout Hebrews, but it's also a summary of the work of God, the summary of the Bible, would even say. So if there's a text for us to keep going back to and to memorize, this might be one of those on that short list. Wow, what an opening passage. What an attention grabber. What else do we learn from this beautiful text? Number one, God has always spoken. It's good that God speaks to his people. What does speaking do? Speaking means that God does not want us to question or doubt or be confused about what he wants. It's a known thing when you go back to the way idols historically have been made. They're given mouths, and yet they can't speak. A psalmist would say that about idols. They have mouths, but they cannot speak. And oh, what a tragedy that is. That you've got these people who claim to follow these gods that control the universe and control weather and control the sun and all this kind of stuff, and yet they have no idea how to please them. They're completely unpredictable. And they give them mouths, fashion them mouths, but they cannot speak words to tell them how to please him or her. God is far different. God does speak, and God has always spoken. That there has never been a time in which mankind has been alive that God has not communicated his will to them. Yes, directly to Adam and Eve was through the fathers in the time of Noah and Abraham, Job, we presume. But then he spoke in a different way, beginning at Sinai, as he spoke to Moses and the children of Israel. He spoke through law. He continued to speak through prophets. But what does the text of Hebrews say is true? In these last days, verse 2, he has spoken to us by his Son. Notice this transition. God who speaks, God who has always spoken, has in these last days, these once and for all last era days, God has spoken. The God who speaks has now once and for all spoken. How does he speak? It's a who, right? Has in these last days spoken to us through his Son, by his Son. And the rest of this paragraph is an argument elevating and proving the Son is worthy of being spoken through. And what we find is that not only does God speak through the Son in terms of a spoken message, it's a lived out message. It's an in the flesh message. It's a message of action carried out by the Son, communicating the will of the Father to save mankind and to give him a way to live to please God. What a great blessing the Son is to bring us to God. We're excited to read and reread Hebrews over the next several weeks. It'll be a blessing to your life. We're thankful for your time this morning. It's our prayer that the timeless Word of God will be your meditation all day today.
I woke up this morning with